to the bold analysis. The backbone of development in our villages are the devolved governments. And for devolution to work in this country, I think the executive, or rather the big boys in Nairobi, must allow the counties to enjoy the independence. The level of political interference in our county governments is actually worrying. We saw Nairobi here, where really people looked at Sakaja's ministers, and of course there was a different diagnosis that were drawn to it. But do you know that there are counties that are yet to name their cabinet simply because the people in Nairobi, the big politicians here in Nairobi, cannot agree on who and who is to be picked? Straight in Nyeri, this newspaper is carrying a very interesting story. Standoff as regarding demands cabinet slots in Nyeri County. This is not I wanted to get what is in that newspaper. That Kahiga, the governor of Nyeri, is in crossroads and in big dilemma because of cabinet slots. Not because he doesn't have people, but because of interference from Gachagua and the team back in Nairobi. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and also like our video. I want to say thank you for those who've been supporting this channel. We are on our road to 40,000 subscribers. I want to continue thanking you, and of course asking you that let's continue pushing this brand. Nyeri Governor Mutahi Kahiga is yet to name his cabinet because of a standoff as regarding Gachagua, according to that newspaper, The Citizen, is reported to be pushing for his allies to be considered in the cabinet. But the governor is actually holding a stand that he must retain his ministers, whom of which the reporter there, that article is saying that were retained and they supported his campaign and were part of his dream team in the previous regime. And because of that, they're saying that he has rejected the demands from the deputy president and is yet to name that cabinet, because at the end of the day, that cabinet will have to be vetted in the county assembly. But if you also don't listen to the voice of the big boys, then the county assembly, which is majorly made of UDA, may not pass his cabinet. And secondly, it may also affect his agenda because he has to pass a supplementary budget. So you see the way the governors are really in very tight corner. Nyeri is normally different of counties, and I want you maybe to take a while to take you through how there have been a change of guard in Nyeri. How before Kahiga came into office, the first governor, and this will help us to understand Gachagua's links with the county, the first governor, Gachagua, was Rigath's elder brother. And when he passed on, and before even that, his deputy, Gachagua, he passed on, and his deputy, Wamaitha Githaiga, took over the county leadership because he was the deputy. And when he took over, the wife to that deputy, that wife, Githaiga Wamadhai, is a first cousin to Rigathi Gachagua. So even if the wife was not there, even if the brother was not the governor, the deputy governor, the wife to the deputy governor, was a first cousin to Gachagua. So that tells you that he was grounded there. And then that was before 2017. So he ruled until 2017. Now, when it came to 2017, there was that fallout. And of course, that Wamadhai did not even get that seat. The person that won that seat was now a governor, Wahome Gakuru. And Wahome Gakuru perished in a road accident. After he perished in a road accident, uh, Kahiga, Mutai Kahiga, was sworn in because Mutai Kahiga, a former teacher, was the deputy governor by then. So he came in as a deputy governor, and in this election, he retained the seat under UDA. And credit be given that were it not for Mutai Kahiga to break ranks with Jubilee and join UDA, he wouldn't have been the governor. And were it not for Rigathi Gachagua to support him through the UDA wing, he wouldn't have been the governor because the UDA wave was very strong, especially in the areas of Nyeri. So he got that seat. And remember, before he was there, he was really having very strong competition from the other candidates. And then he actually came and won the seat under UDA. So he's technically serving his second term, second and the final term. But here now comes the big thing, that he is under hostage. Ladies and gentlemen, our governors are in hostage. And the Nyeri story is just a fraction, or rather is just a fraction of what is happening. The bigger picture here is that devolution is actually under threat. Let me tell you, in William Ruto's cabinet, the devolution docket was taken to the office of the deputy president. So there is a lot that is in the plate of the deputy president as matters devolution. If you ask me, I think Mutahi Kahiga should just accept and make the changes. Because this is sometimes the reality. And on this, it must take Senate. Senate must be very vigilant, because there seems to be something that will happen, that there will be a lot of malicious impeachment. There will be a lot of malicious impeachments that will come their way, because the impeachments are not really even to remove the governors. No one wants really is up to that. But the impeachments are actually to test, to push the governors to the corner, to bring the governors to the table. Like in the case of Nyeri, Kahiga's deputy seems to be neutral and it does not take side. But Mwangi Wahome, or rather the Wamatinga, who is the senator, seems to be siding with the Rigathi's side. And that is the senator who is supposed to protect the counties. What are we guys dealing with? What exactly is happening? And I want to agree with Okuro quote. He said in one of the interviews that these impeachments are actually malicious. There is a very shallow impeachment that is being, the first governor to face an impeachment scare is Kawira Mwangaza. I've followed Kawira Mwangaza, and I agree with people who have said that she seems to be her own person, because she's coming in. She seems to be feeling, because she won as an independent candidate, she's coming in the mantra that she has the will of the people, but she doesn't want to be roped to rhythms of politics. The rhythms of politics, where the MCS wants them to be given allowances, to be taken to places and here and there. But then that can be treated, what can be treated? The MCS is just a decoy. The truth of the matter is that counties, there is a lot of political interference. Remember in Kericho, there was a very ugly fallout between Rick Mutai and his deputy. Over days, less than 100 days after they came into office, there was an ugly fallout. Even in Kakamega, Fernandez Baraza and Ayub Savula there were already issues before even they were sworn in. The big thing here is this: there is a lot of political interference. And devolution should work for the people. Devolution is the hope of the villages. I was in Siaya and I felt the face of, even though it's not that much big, but you can feel that there is something happening. And this political interference from the national team will create an insulator to some members or some staff in the county government. For example, if the executive pushes a name to you and you take that name as a sec, and then there is a corruption, these people can actually just embrace corruption because they have political authority. So for us even to tame, corruption in our counties, governors should be left hands-on. Those who want to serve should serve. But this political interference, this political favors comes in with a baggage. One of the things is this. I was shocked to hear one of my friends telling me, Kevin, there is another corruption scandal that has been in this country for some time. And someone is telling me that, Kevin, this might not see, how about if that money was given to so and so? Where could it be? And this does not even touch on even devolution. Even in Mount Kenya, there are a bunch of reasons why UDA wave will fall. One of them is this. UDA wave will fall. It will fall because now that people are into office, no one seems to be talking about the hasola. Like this ugly fight, when it gets to the public, it will be understood differently that so and so wants to. And when it gets to the people's mind, the question that remains is, where is the hustler? Where is the? Are we talking about Mamamboga? No. We've started talking about how our people and our friends should be integrated in the county governments. And they just used to manage the fallouts. It's a very interesting look, guys. And I don't know where we stand. I think, if you ask me, it's a wild reason. It's unpopular. But maybe you just bite the bullet. Just give it. You just give it. It becomes manageable by the time you manage it. You manage it. And that is my bold.